evening and thank you for joining us on African Free Press Television for stories around Africa. I am Momo Basi. The faction of the Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign State of Biafra, MASOB, has called on the federal government to immediately release the Radio Biafra director, Nnamdi Kanu, who was arrested by the Department of State Security Services, DSS, in Lagos State. In a statement issued in Abakaliki, the National Director of Information, MASOB, Comrade Uche Namadu, threatened that any refusal by the federal government to ensure the release of Kanu will lead to a worldwide demonstration, protest which will endanger the already battered image of Nigeria before the international communities. Meanwhile, the former governor of Kebbi State, Usman Dakingari, has been arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations that he laundered 3.8 billion naira from the state. Mr. Dakingari was detained at the EFCC headquarters around 10 a.m. Nigerian time. He is currently undergoing interrogations at the hands of EFCC investigators. Mr. Dakingari, who is an in-law to the late Nigerian President Umar Yar'Adua, was elected governor of Kebbi State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in 2007. Recently, the EFCC arrested Mr. Dakingari's wife, Zainab. She was accused of laundering 2 billion naira for her husband. Members of the African Union's new 25,000 multinational standby force are gathering to begin field training for the first time. The exercises in South Africa aim to make sure the force is ready by January to respond to crises across the continent. The force will be made up of 5 brigades from Africa's economic blocs. It is being set up to avoid reliance on the outside world in peacekeeping across the continent. Zambia's President Edgar Lungu has turned to God in a bid to stop the free fall of his country's ailing currency, with bars shot and football matches cancelled on a national day of prayer to end the record slump. Lungu ordered the prayer session last month after the local currency, the kwacha, fell 45% against the dollar since the start of the year due to a sharp drop in the prices of copper, the country's main export. Food prices have soared and crippling power shortages have been triggered by low water levels in Lake Kariba, where hydropower plants supply much of the country's electricity. Police in Israel are investigating an attack by bystanders on an Eritrean who died after being mistaken for a gunman and then shot and beaten. Videos show the man, identified as Mulu Haptop Zahop, 19, lying in the pool of his blood as onlookers threw a set of chairs on him and kicked him. It happened at the time of a deadly attack by an Israeli Arab at the same place in Beersheba. He was shot dead. Israel has seen a wave of stabbing and shooting by Palestinians this month. 8 Israelis have been killed and dozens wounded in the attacks. More than 40 Palestinians, including several of the attackers, have been killed in the growing unrest. The upsurge in violence began last month when tensions at the Flashpoint holy site in Jerusalem, revered by Jews and Muslims, boiled over amid rumors Israel planned to relax long-standing rules to strengthen Jewish rights at the complex. Israel has repeatedly denied such claims. Protests over fee increase have forced the suspension of teaching at 3 of South Africa's top universities. Protests have spread from Johannesburg Wits University and closed last week after thousands demonstrated on campus to the universities of Rhodes and Cape Town UCT. Wits universities agreed to suspend a 10.5% tuition fee increase on Friday, pending negotiations with students. Protesters argued that poor, mainly black students would be worst affected. That's all in the news around Africa. For more, you can log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook at African Free Press. I am Momo Basi. Have a great week ahead.